Oh my god! The warning in classified material. Federal law provides severe civil criminal penalties. Oh, cool.
On planet Earth,
life
has thrived for millions of years.
Hi, guys.
Creatures big and small
welcome
have
to
found ways to adapt and
VITA
evolve
CARNIS.
to flourish in
Sorry.
all types of environments.
I wasn't prepared for the
From
intro.
barren wastes to lush
But
forests,
we're here to react
life can
today,
be found.
so
Earth
sit
has
back
owned
and
these
relax, 'cause
creatures
this is gonna
since
be a
the
long
dawn
one.
of life itself. Only until very
this
recently,
was a shit
things have
intro,
changed.
I'm not gonna lie.
New life forms have appeared all around the globe and completely changing the balance of nature and what we know about evolution itself. That is why we, at National Living Meat Research, have been studying these new species, trying to help educate everyone about these creatures and their wondrous ways of life. First, what are these new life forms? Since their explosive arrival across the globe in 1931, there has been much debate on what these newcomers are, and where they came from.
Why does it
Are they
always take place
extraterrestrials
in the
coming to
19th
invade
century?
Earth? Or are they
It all-
demons who
this-
come from hell to purge humanity?
Okay.
From what our scientists have discovered,
Cool.
no.
Aliens
The
or
origins of
demons,
these
cool.
creatures are solely to Earth, miraculously out of nowhere. We don't know why or how, but one thing is for certain, Earth is now their home. What these creatures are is mysterious and still not well known today. But
Is that
here's
a
what we
termite?
do know. These creatures are comprised mainly of muscle tissue, organs, and bones. They greatly resemble animals with no skin, or store-bought meat. Because of these characteristics, they have been named accordingly as Vitacarnis.
Oh,
The
well, I
carni
completely
species
butchered the
consume
name.
decaying,
Sorry.
organic matter, but their main diet is composed of raw meat, not including their carnis relatives. The carnis only appear in places where there is an abundance of crawl, which leads to the first creature of the carnis species, the crawl. The crawl is a growth of meaty tendrils that closely resemble the small intestine, the only difference being the dark red coloration. These tendrils grow in a similar pattern as vines, mold, or fungi.
That's
A
disgusting.
primary stem structure is the host to divisions of other, smaller branches. In each tendril contains a variety of veins, arteries, and other similar organs used to transport nutrients absorbed from its surroundings.
So it's a root that's
The
alive.
ends of these
That's
tendrils
what I'm
are
getting
equipped
at.
with organelles used to absorb water and organic matter necessary for growth. The source of these organic materials is mainly found in dirt and soil on surrounding surfaces. Using its root-like tendrils, it absorbs the material and processes it into usable energy. Although, the crawl also obtains energy through another means. Using a sophisticated form of photosynthesis,
You're not going to tell us what it is?
the dark pigmentation of the smaller branches is ideal for absorbing sunlight, and therefore allowing solar energy to fuel the crawl's growth.
Yeah, it's like a tree. It's like...
Because
It's like
of
a
its
plant.
efficiency, it thrives
root.
in almost all types of environments, easily allowing it to spread across the world, and can be found pretty much anywhere. Its recent inclusion in the ecosystem has caused many major changes in nature's balance. One may assume that the crawl's presence may outcompete any other competitors, but due to its unique life cycle, where old branches fall off and decay into nutrient-rich compost, all forms of life seemingly flourish instead. The crawl's abundance grants plenty of nourishment to all animals, from plants feeding on the decayed crawl, herbivores thriving on increased plant population, and carnivores feeding on both the abundant prey, and are able to eat the crawl as well. The presence of all these animals leave behind waste, which will be broken down and consumed by the crawl, and the cycle begins again. This form of symbiosis leads to an environment where all
What?
populations thrive.
It's the cycle of life, but
Humanity
put the
also
crawl in
uses
there.
the crawl to our advantage. Because of the supernatural rate of growth and its richness in nutrients, it has been sustainably cultivated into domestic farms.
Every chance we get in this world, humanity always has to fiddle with something that is completely mysterious and have no, ideal thoughts of its hostile ability or hostability, whatever you want to use there. Because I can't believe they actually did this. Of course, no, actually, I can't believe Humanity is freaking stupid. Stupid. God, we're so stupid. Just don't fuck with things you don't understand. Let me repeat myself. Don't fuck with things you don't understand.
The crawl may also be used as a food source for humans, and reliably so. But due to its unkindly appearance and taste, it has yet to reach cuisine standards.
No shit.
The crawl also plays a very important role in the next creatures that we have
I'm
been
not
studying.
eating that.
Sometimes, in a crawl-populated environment, a node of meat may develop on one of the branches. This node will fall off and grow into a functioning organism, and go to live on as an independent animal.
Oh no, no, no. Mm-mm.
This leads us to the upcoming species that we will be discussing.
Nope.
The first of these creatures are the Trimmings.
The Trimmings. The Trimmings. The
Trimmings are small animals.
What
that
the
resemble
fuck is
skinned
that?
raccoon.
What is that? Why it got a face like that? It got a baby face. That is a gross ass face, man.
All individual trimmings are unique, each with a different body shape, number of limbs, and other characteristics.
What?
One thing they all share in common is that they are made mostly of meat tissue, and are a maximum of 20 centimeters in length, no larger than a basketball.
That's not good.
Its life starts with its separation from the crawl.
Oh, I got chills. No, I got chills. I got
find
chills on my
anything
back.
that is edible and able to
Chills
consume.
crawled on my back.
Although it is an omnivore, being able to hunt meat and forage for plant matter, trimmings are almost entirely scavengers. Their diet consists of rotting plants and meat, including, but not limited to, fruits, vegetables, roots, seeds, insects, and deceased animals.
Could have just said
Although
dead
its
animal.
appearance is unsightly,
Ah!
because of its lack of defensive traits, it lies near the bottom of the food chain, making it easily overpowered and picked off very regularly by predators.
Good, we need to kill it. We need to kill them all.
Its population would eventually die out. This is not the case. The crawl constantly produces a large quantity of trimming nodes, keeping up their numbers. Naturally,
we need to cut the roots. This cannot exist on the planet.
Reaching maturity at around 7 months, having a maximum lifespan of 2 to 4 years. Although they are plentiful, humanity has no proper way to implement trimmings into society. Their overabundance has even considered them pests, due to them digging through trash bins and making excessive noise at night. Besides all of this, some people still keep trimmings as pets, and regularly domesticate them.
I'm gonna knock this motherfucker out! You gonna tell me you gonna keep this thing as a pet? I oughta beat the shit out! No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. Are you religious? Are you religious, Are you trying to pray to their God? Cause I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. I'm gonna knock you the fuck. Okay, I'm sorry.
The meat snake.
Meat snake! Haha!
The meat snake is a worm-like creature.
Oh,
made of a
right.
variety of types of meat, coated in a transparent, skin-like membrane.
It's a snake, but it's made out of meat.
Its lifespan, depending on how much it consumes. When it first separates from the it is only a few centimeters in length.
I can't.
Eventually, it will reach an average length of 5 meters. Although, under extreme conditions, like natural disasters, war,
I'm
or
starting
plague,
to develop gas.
It can greatly surpass this length.
I don't like the glitching effect. I don't like it. Can you chill out?
Parts. A meat snake is incapable of consuming a healthy, living organism. The meat snake allocates its food by using a tongue-like organ covered in sensors to touch and feel its environment.
That's disgusting.
The sensors catch particles of decaying meat, notifying the meat snake that there is food nearby. This process shares many similarities to regular snakes, hence the meat snake's name. Once it locates the corpse, the meat snake will open its jaw and swallow the entire body whole.
Oh yeah, it's a snake, alright.
Once the entire body is consumed, the meat snake's stomach will release a variety of chemicals. Some will break down soft tissue like skin, and the connection points between muscles. Others chemicals will then ferment and preserve the tissue to keep it from breaking down for as long as possible. After that, the remaining flesh and bones will move along the meat snake's tract, and slowly be implemented into its own structure, extending the meat snake.
What? It grows?
Unsatisfactory parts like skulls, pelvises, hair, and fingernails will be excreted.
That's disgusting.
Speaking of skulls, the meat snake will take the skull from the consumed organism and use it as its own. Each meat snake has its own skull.
Oh no. Oh no, no. I don't like that, bro. Look at that one on the far right. Look at it. Nah, no. No way, bro. Nah, bro. Their heads morph depending on the skull that they take? What is this? What is that? Bro, imagine if it really did exist. If this existed, I swear, bro. If any of you take this thing as a pet, I oughta slide on yo ass.
During its lifespan, it will swap or replace these skulls if needed. A meat snake's lifespan depends entirely on how much a meat snake consumes. The longest one has lived for was 28 years.
28 years?!
The meat snake has no predators and is immune to disease due to its preserving chemicals. The only significant ways a meat snake can die is through starvation, burning, or complete destruction of the meat snake's membrane coating.
Get the flamethrower! We burning this bitch!
When a meat snake reaches an excessive size, and is in the conditions to do so, it will commence mitosis, splitting itself in two. Then the now two meat snakes will go on their separate ways and live on as two distinct organisms.
These motherfuckers can multiply?!
Meat snakes can only be found in moderate temperature climates, not too hot, not too cold. Their population depends entirely on the amount of corpses available. Where there is death,
fucked, man.
there are
I
meat
can't.
snakes.
Like, I literally
will use them to our advantage. Meat snakes are a very efficient and clean way of disposing of any meat products. The preserving fluid within the meat snake's body disinfects the carrion, preventing the spread of disease. Humans use meat snakes in butcher shops as a waste bin, dispose roadkill, within war on the battlefield to dispose of festering bodies and parts, and within zoos to dispose of deceased animals.
Bro, what world of humanity is this? I can't, man. God, you are making us look like a bad example. A bad example on this planet. No aliens is gonna come down here once they find out that there's these damn... once they find out that the crawl is all over this planet, bitch, they're leaving. They're going home. They ain't staying here for this shit.
Overall, meat snakes are a marvelous creature with a very interesting way of sustaining itself. It is an amazing experience to encounter one, as long as you don't mind the smell.
No.
Our next creature is the mimic.
Nope. Alright.
The mimic. The mimic is a bipedal creature with uncanny similarities to humanoid anatomy. They greatly resemble humans without skin, with added exaggerated features. These features include extended finger length, longer limbs, bulging, empty eyes, and their most prominent feature, a wide, teeth-filled smile. Although it resembles a happy face, this is due to coincidence, and is only how their facial structure is shaped.
Is that why they call it that?
While the mimic contains much more teeth than humans,
Makes sense.
and their teeth is comprised almost entirely of incisors, with some canine and premolars in the back. This tooth composition is ideal for biting down onto meat and swallowing chunks whole. A mature mimic's diet is comprised entirely of human flesh.
Hey, why'd you stop? Why'd you stop, bro?
Because of this, they are found solely around human-populated areas.
That gave me the biggest set of chills
of my life. The mimic's life cycle is made of 3 stages.
Don't do that again, please.
In the first stage, a young mimic separates from the crawl. They closely resemble their trimming relatives, but are thin, sleek, and only have 4 appendages. In this stage, the young mimic will hunt small animals, moving on to larger and larger as they grow. Once large enough, it will begin metamorphosis into the next stage of life. Once fully transformed, it will resemble the description mentioned in the beginning. Its hunting style changes and becomes much more complicated. It now stalks and feeds only on humans.
If there's a reason why there is a part cut out, is because I tried to find out what that image was, and it was literally just the image of what it
Once the
showed in the
target has been
beginning.
found, the mimic will observe its prey and learn its routine and when it is most vulnerable. This is typically when the human is asleep at night.
It's a
Once
mimic!
the prey
It's
is
gonna
within
copy
position,
everything
the
a
mimic
human
will
does. It's
advance
obvious.
silently until it is close
Come on
enough.
now, can you be
The
that
mimic will be
stupid?
executed immediately
Okay,
upon
I'm sorry.
consumption.
Damn.
Once the mimic has had its fill, it will leave the scene, a fair distance away from the human population, and begin to digest its meal. Although, in the case that a human is awake, a mimic will use a variety of sounds to either lure or startle prey into cornering themselves. Once a human is in place, it will swiftly attack and kill the helpless target.
Ah! Oh shit. Turn off your flashlight! Oh! I can't. No, I don't do this. Turn off your flashlight! Turn it off! What are you doing? You need to turn off your flashlight. They can see that. Oh my god. Humanity's survival. There's no hope. There is no hope. They see it, dumbass. Oh god. We're gonna die. I'm gonna die. We're dead. Goodbye. This is the end of the world. Farewell. Alright. You could jump us. No! Whoa. Chill out. Listen. You don't need to do this. Oh my god!
The next stage of the mimic's life cycle has two potential morphs it may develop into. If a mimic has a consistent supply of food, it will develop more human-like features.
Ooh.
It will grow skin, hair, and by the end will look nearly identical to a human being. It now can blend entirely into civilization, and lure other humans more effectively. The second type of morph happens when a mimic receives an overabundance of food. It will grow into a larger, more evolved hunter. Its proportions will increase in length, and its humanoid features will fade away. It grows a thick, dark coating of a flexible skin, which is highly durable, and increases in strength the more the elder mimic consumes. This excludes the face.
Oh!
Which is now coated in
Oh,
pale pink
nah,
skin.
I don't like that.
The mimic's
No.
teeth have also moved deeper into the mimic's throat, leaving its mouth a toothless grin. It uses the dark hue of its skin to hide seamlessly within a dark environment.
Oh.
Its skills have also been heightened. This makes an elder mimic one of the most efficient predators on the planet.
This is why I don't go camping.
Because of the obvious threat this poses on humanity, nations around the world have released instructions on how to be able to fend for yourself in a mimic encounter. Here are the instructions.
1. Avoid going out alone if your location is known to have mimics, or there have been mimic sightings. 2. If you encounter a stationary mimic, seemingly unfazed by your presence, quietly leave the location and alert your local authorities. 3. If pursued by a mimic, get yourself into a position where you are able to flee. Mimics will rarely attack if a person has a clear escape route. 4. In the event that you have been cornered by a mimic, roll into the fetal position, protecting your neck, face, and vital organs from attack. Make as much noise as you can to alert any other people. 5. If you have a weapon, do not use it. A mimic is fairly resilient, and any strikes or shots on a mimic is not effective enough to bring it down in time. Instead, use it as a barrier between you and the mimic to block any attacks. 6. In a situation where a mimic is hunting in the immediate area, and is not aware of your position, hide somewhere low, like under a bed or behind other furniture. A mimic will not linger too long to search for prey, and will move on.
Be safe, and avoid any
That last step was like the only like useful. Like, how are people capable of any of the others? This is literally a game of playing 50-50. The other 50% you die, the other 50% you'll live. So it's like a 50-50. It's gambling. You're gambling on your life. There's a chance that you will survive this encounter, or you'll just die. At this point, you might as well hug me. Hug me, big brother. Take my life. You caught me. You saw me. You caught me. I was doing the laundry. Those were the shittiest steps I had ever heard. Block oncoming attacks. Do you really believe some people are capable of reading mimics' movements? How slow do you think they strike? Oh, right, they hadn't told you that yet. Yeah, so, 50-50. See what I'm saying?
Next up, the Harvester.
Oh, I don't like this already. Sorry if I pause a lot.
The Harvester is a large, bulbous mass with a
I did just wake up.
Tendrils spreading from the base. The bulb measures around 3 meters in height and 2 meters in diameter. The tendrils, on the other hand, can extend up to 150 meters in diameter horizontally.
Oh, hell no.
The Harvester is a specialized form of crawl that grows in a unique and deadly way. A harvester is created when a node that will grow into a harvester, instead of separating, continues to grow. Eventually, it will grow tendrils of its own. It uses the energy provided by its mother branch and expands its reach further. Its tendrils, hidden just below the surface of the ground. The harvester is equipped with 2 types of specialized tendrils. The first type is bulky and flat. They lie the closest to the surface. These branches are lined on each length of the tendril with spines, extending in the shape of a bear trap. On each side of the branch, those particular spines have a vein that feed into them, that pump 2 types of venom. On one side, the spines can inject a neurotoxin, which will attack the nervous system of whomever it is injected into, causing sudden paralysis. The other side can inject an anticoagulant, which when injected, prevents blood cells from clotting. Whenever a large animal moves across the area armed with these tendrils, the branches will clamp onto the animal and thrash violently. Once the prey has been injected with both venoms, the tendrils will rest and the prey will immediately collapse. The animal will be unable to move due to the paralysis, and the wounds caused by the thrashing spines will not stop bleeding. All the prey can do is lie patiently, until succumbing to blood loss. Once the prey has bled out, the second type of tendrils come in. They lie below the spine equipped once. These branches are thick, but very sturdy. They share similar anatomy to the small branches of the crawl, equipped with organelle that absorbs nutrients. These tendrils sense the blood, and move their way to the surface and begin to absorb the vital fluid. Once the blood has been consumed, the tendrils will wrap around the body and begin to shuffle downwards. This movement loosens the soil and slowly pull the body underground. Once secure, the tendrils will continue to feed until there is nothing but scraps. The nourishment absorbed by the tendrils will be sucked back into the main bulb of the harvester. This bulb houses all the vital organs and the venom glands that pump into the spines. The nutrients are then converted into usable energy. The remains underground decompose, providing a rich soil, causing very prominent plant growth, which then attracts more animals. A strange behavior the harvester displays is its choice of diet. The spines will only activate on larger animals, allowing smaller ones to pass by unaffected. The spines will also not activate on some species of bird. There are a couple theories as to why this happens. 1. It could be that attacking smaller animals would cost too much energy for what they get in return, making it not worth the time.
Not worth the time!
Smaller animals may attract larger animals or predators, allowing a safe place where prey may thrive, and lure more predators. It truly is astonishing.
This scientist, I'm gonna beat his ass.
Creature, it is also very dangerous.
Thank
the
you.
Harvester is decently
I take
rare,
back what I
only
said.
Populating sparse areas in the northern hemisphere and woodland forests.
Why it gotta be where I live?
If you are stung by a harvester, there will be no way of helping you, being that there is no cure, and fatality is 100% positive. best thing you can do is avoid encountering a harvester in the first place. If you are hiking, take note of any warnings or signs saying that there are harvesters around. If you also notice an abundance of lush, ground-dwelling plants in a forested area, and there are no signs of wildlife, this is suspicious and you should leave the area, staying close to the base of large trees or rocks. If you find yourself in the middle of a harvester ground, do not panic. Sudden movements may activate the tendrils and will inject you. Although a harvester is rather forgiving, do not risk any skittish movements. Remain calm. If you have any objects with considerable heft, like coats, backpacks, or full water bottles, gently take that object and lightly toss it towards the bulb, and away from your escape route. This will activate the spines on where the object lands, distracting the bulb for a moment. You will then slowly begin to do wide shuffles away from the bulb. If possible, throw another object when you are certain you are a fair enough distance away, just to be safe. Continue until you are completely sure you are out of harm's way. You may come out unscathed, but don't be too obnoxious, or you will be a harvester's next meal. Next up is the host. The host of influence. The host of influence, more commonly referred to as the host.
Bro, they just keep getting uglier.
A host who invites guests to an event. Not to be confused with a host, a harborer of parasites or disease. The host is a semi-humanoid looking organism. It has the structure of a head, torso, and arms. Other than this, it shares no other characteristics. The lower half of the host is comprised of a mass of fibrous tissue and tendrils that burrow into the ground to hold the host in place. Instead of skin, the host is covered in muscular tissue fibers, tendons, and veins. In some parts of the body are covered in a meaty plate, used to cover any large exposed areas, but allowing movement. The host's head has a smooth surface where the face should be.
That's a
attached to
mouth?
crooked neck,
Damn!
which houses a slit in the front used for feeding. On the host's back is a mound of pores. Protruding from these pores are hollow, hair-like structures, extending outwards. These hairs are barrels that release spores produced within host's body by being fired into the air.
I think I've made this face
These
the
spores
entirety
are
of the
hazardous,
video.
so
I
keep
just-
clear of them at all costs.
Oh, they're hazardous.
Luckily,
Oh,
the host is
what was
rare,
that?
so keep
Was that a
clear of them
picture?
at all costs. Luckily,
That was
the
a
host
window.
Is rare, only found in North
Oh
America.
no. Of course it's in America. Of course.
Obtaining
Of course.
info about the host is a very risky and daunting task. This is because
Yeah.
of their rarity.
How about
and
you
of
just
how
don't
dangerous
do
it
it?
is to be up close to one.
Oh, it's
The
spilling.
spores released by a host is very dangerous when inhaled. A host will release a cloud of spores into the air, which will be picked up by wind and carried great distances. If an organism inhales the spores, the particles will find their way into the organism's brain and infect them. An infected organism will show no symptoms of infection right away, but a couple hours after infection the infected organism's behavior and thought process will change. The first symptoms that appear are restlessness, sluggish movement, numbness of joints, and lack of coordination. Then more serious symptoms appear over time. These include dizziness, migraines, impaired speech, and trembles. If you, or someone you know show these symptoms, contact poison control or emergency services.
Why did it
After
get so
a total of
dark?
6 to 7 hours after infection, the organism will cease all activities they were previously doing and begin to walk.
Fucking
The
Christ.
direction
Oh. Oh. Yeah, I hate. Listen, I can't. I don't like jump scares. I don't. But I love horror games, and I love analog horror. But I don't like jump scares. I don't. I get this feeling in my chest, and it's like a weird, uncomfortable pain, and I could just feel my heart going doo 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 doo.
If the infected, they will kneel down in front of it, expose their vital organs, and the host will promptly gut and remove those organs. The host will consume them and discard the leftover scraps. However, if an infected organism doesn't reach the host within a 36-hour span or is treated for their infection, the effects will wear off and return back to normal. If a host is unable to find prey or doesn't like its current location, it will unroot itself and move to a new location. Their scarce numbers and the hazard of being around one makes getting info about the host very daunting. All you need to currently know is that the host is extremely dangerous and should be avoided at all costs.
They all should be avoided. Every single one of them.
Next, the monoliths. The monoliths.
What was that? Okay, so after a few attempts, I actually decided to pause the video after seeing this. Although one day the critters found the cave while searching for food, they found the prince in trance in his healing sleep. The critters were so, whatever the hell that says, I don't know, struck and enchanted by the princess's magic. What does that even mean?
The monolith is a very new creature, only showing up in June of 1972, in the area of... There are only 7 monoliths, all of them located in a circular position, 1.5 kilometers in diameter. This ring of monoliths surrounds...
What is happening? My screen!
The monolith is a Titanic-sized being.
I got chills,
roughly 120 meters in height. Each monolith has 2 trunk
What is
legs
happening?
that are firmly
My
embedded
screen is
underground.
fucked.
The legs connect to a torso.
What?
The creature
Why is it so
itself made of
tall?
hundreds of thousands of meaty
What the
strands,
fuck?
tightly woven together
I
to form a
can't.
structure. These strands end at the neck, fusing into a solid mass of hardened flesh in the shape of an upside-down
What's going on with my screen?
What the monoliths do is simply stand and do nothing. The only activity documented that the monoliths have done was in... During this period, they were extremely aggressive.
What the hell?
A group of were making their way to the city. The monolith that they had passes roared a deep bellow and swung its appendages at the team, completely wiping them out. When military vehicles were dispatched, once they got close enough top the monolith, it roared another call, this time releasing an EMP blast, completely knocking the vehicles out in the vicinity. Finally, long-distance rockets were fired and struck the creature.
Oh, okay. Oh. I don't like this. I don't like it. Ah!
It regenerated at great
Oh,
speed
my chest.
and resumed its
Oh, it
stance
hurts.
unscathed. Eventually, the area has been fenced off and is now restricted to all. Ever since, the monoliths stand silently, now only a grand spectacle of awe and mystery, only adding more questions to these meat beings.
Alright,
And
what's the
finally,
final one?
The last creature on this list is...
The Singularity is an orb comprised of a dark-colored mineral with hints of luminous colors within its core. The Singularity is estimated to be 1 meter in diameter.
I got the biggest set of chills. These chills are crawling to my ass crack.
The Singularity typically can be found suspended in air by an unseen force. There are also a variety of reading that have been documented coming from the orb itself. Various things like magnetic fields, energy signatures, and other pattern-like signals released by the Singularity. The population of these creatures is unknown. Almost all info about the Singularity is hidden or confiscated by officials. We were only able to receive one classified document about the Singularity being held by...
Ah! Okay! Alright! We didn't need to know!
Marvelous and majestic world that exists today, it's as extraordinary to have such strange and mysterious beings appear all around us. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and discovery of the lives of these living meat creatures.
No, I'm good. Alright, y'all. that's gonna be it for Vitacarnis, the video, and the YouTube channel will both be down in the description below for y'all to check out. Duly support this guy. Like I said, I'm still waking up. I haven't had food. I haven't had a drink. Like, just bear with me. Just bear with me. But overall, for an analog horror like this is interesting. I like this. I really do. Despite everything I said during this video, or if some of the stuff that is in this video is actually staying in the video. I don't know. I paused a lot during this whole recording, so I deeply apologize for that. But like, it's just something to take into consideration whenever there's like a new species crawling around on the planet. We only know a mass majority of the Earth as it is. There's so much more we have yet to discover. And if this actually existed, you know damn well that the human race would take a piece of this and experiment it on just to be, oh, so fascinating. What a valuable resource. Bitch, shut up. This shit can wipe out the entirety of humanity if you are not careful. Look at these stages on this screen right here. Look at this image. No thank you, I'll pass. But overall, I hope y'all have a fantabulous morning, or rest easy. Like I said, don't know what time zone y'all are in the world, so it's like trying to be considerate. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace. Oh man, I'm going to bed. Good night.